Hello, today I'm going to review the new SmallRig SPR Spotlight attachment for the SmallRig RF20C and the SmallRig RF10C, which SmallRig kindly sent me for free in exchange of making this video. So if you haven't seen my video about the SmallRig RF20C, I've mentioned that the biggest downside of this light is that when you use the included gobo attachment, you will get a very soft lighting effect because you cannot really control the focus of the light. And now with this spotlight, it's going to fix all of this because you basically have a focus ring in here, which will allow you to control the focus or the texture of the light, if you will, along with other features, which I'll talk about a bit later in this video. Now, the price for this is $50, which is pretty expensive considering the RF10C in here is only $53, but you can buy it as a bundle package for $98 with the RF10C, or if you buy it with the RF20C, you'll be able to get both of these for $123 instead of $130. Of course, affiliated links are going to be down below if you want to support this channel. And now here is what you're going to get in the box for $50. You're going to get obviously the spotlight itself and then a plastic magnetic gobo attachment along with 10 metal magnetic gobos. As you can see, these gobos are made of metal and they attach magnetically in here. Honestly, I'm not really sure if you can use third-party gobos with this. I'm not really sure what is the size of the gobo. If you know, let us know please down below. Now, when it comes to design, first of all, the build quality of this is fantastic. Everything is made of metal, just like the RF10C and also the RF20C, but at the same time it makes this attachment in here extremely heavy. Let's see how much it is on the scale. 330 grams. Here is how much it weighs with the RF20C. 815 grams. And here is how much it weighs with the RF10C. 724 grams. So this attachment in here is definitely not lightweight, but you do get the metal build quality, which should help with protecting the light if you're going to drop it, let's say. Now here on the sides, you have framing shutters if you want to control basically the light. So let's say, for example, you want to close like the right side of the light or the left side or the top and bottom sides. You can completely, control basically the light with these shutters in here. And as far as I know, you cannot really remove these shutters. And sometimes what happens because of this is that you by accident, touch the shutter and then it completely changes the angle of the light. I wish you could somehow lock the shutter in place to the position that you want, so then it would not really move by accident, because honestly, it's a bit too easy to move these framing shutters in here. And of course, in here you have the focus ring to control the focus. And finally, you also have in here the gobo slot. So you're going to take this plastic attachment and put it inside. And also I have a complaint about this because it's a bit unintuitive to place this inside. Kind of have to fight with it a little bit. It's not really that smooth in my opinion. Now, when it comes to installation, it's pretty straightforward. You're going to detach the front element of your light, either the RF10C or RF20C, and then you're just going to screw in the SPR spotlight. And that's basically what you get. And here is how it looks with the RF10C. The colors are different, but it works just fine. I think though the minimum focus distance of this light to get like a sharp texture to the light is 25 centimeters, so that's definitely something worth keeping in mind. All right, now let me show you a couple of practical differences between using the SPR spotlight and the included rubber gobo attachment with the RF20C and also RF10C. So we're able to see the brightness differences and also the focus texture differences, if you will. So let's start with the RF20C. I'm gonna turn on the light with the rubber gobo attachment. And here is how it looks. Pretty soft, no texture, pretty bright at the same time, and also pretty big. You can resize the shape if you want to. But personally, I'm not really a big fan of how soft the texture looks. So let me turn it off and now turn on the light with the SPR spotlight attachment. And as you can see, the difference is huge when it comes to one, the brightness, and also the sharpness of the shape. It looks significantly sharper than what you get with this. This is the RF20C with the rubber gobo attachment. And here is the one with the spotlight attachment. The one with the spotlight looks sharper and also brighter at the same time. Let's switch colors. Here is purple. Each time you're going to switch a color, you'll have to refocus because the LED chips for the specific colors are positioned in a slightly different position. So this is purple, orange, blue, and red. One advantage though of the rubber gobo attachment is that you can resize the shape relatively easily by just pushing and pulling on the front part of the light. Whereas with the spotlight attachment, if you're going to try to push and pull the front part of the light, you see that you get some artifacts, but it's not making the shape bigger or smaller. So by default, you get a significantly smaller shape. And if you want to make it bigger, you'll have to physically move further away from the background, basically. Let me now show you the RF10C. Here is the rubber gobo attachment, and here is the spotlight. So big difference in terms of like sharpness again, and also the brightness. As you can see, this is the rubber gobo attachment, and this is the spotlight. And of course, you can do the same thing in here, adjust the focus, and then you can change the color, orange and blue. This is the RF20C again. And if you don't want to use the gobo, by the way, you can completely remove it like so, and you'll have like a circular spotlight, if you will, which is extremely bright, to be honest. And you can also kind of try to reshape the circle, but it looks weird, if I'm honest. You get some weird artifacts. But also you can use the framing shutters and basically shape the circle exactly how you want. Let's say I want like a slice of pizza, maybe this kind of a shape. And now just for comparison, I'm going to remove the rubber gobo from the second RF20C, and I'm going to turn it on just to show you how much brighter the light with the spotlight is. So this is the light without the spotlight, and here is the light with the spotlight. So it is smaller, but it is significantly brighter than the light without the spotlight. And by the way, if you are going to compare the RF20C with no spotlight and then the RF10C with the spotlight, you get more or less the same kind of brightness. This is the RF10C with the spotlight. This is the RF20C. RF10C with the spotlight, RF20C. All right, so what do you think? Is the new SmallRig SPR spotlight attachment worth $50? I honestly think it does, because it significantly improves the RF20C and also RF10C, giving you the ability to control the sharpness of the light. Also, it makes the light significantly brighter, and also you have these framing shutters to exactly control the shape of the light, basically. So it is a very niche product, if you will, but if you want to get the best result from the SmallRig RF20C or the SmallRig RF10C, this is definitely worth considering. Anyhow, don't forget to check out the affiliated links down below. And also, if you have any questions or comments, post them down below as well. And I guess I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.